What is good with YouTube? It is your boy, Sean Rock to the represent mandatory thrive, because every day it is mandatory for us to thrive. And I'm back again with another video. In this video, I want to talk a little bit more about boxing. I want to talk about the Deontay Wilder and Mark Breland situation. But I want to talk about something more important about boxing and banging. See, in the sport of boxing, man, banging can get you there, right? Banging can get you there, but boxing can keep you there, right? So it's vital, it's necessary for every banger to know how to box. And it's vital, it's important for every boxer to know how to bang. And that goes to this point of what I'm about to talk about today. I just watched the interview with Jeff Mayweather talking about Deontay Wilder firing Mike Breland because Deontay Wilder wanted to go out on the shield. Mark Breland stopped the fight because he felt like Deontay Wilder can live to fight another day. Here's my opinion on it. Here's my take on it. Taking nothing away from Deontay Wilder. I love Deontay Wilder. I appreciate and value Deontay Wilder's see it, think it, believe it mentality. You know, it's similar to like a Sean Porter mindset, right? Where it's just like work ethic. I'm a natural athlete, even though I'm like not even a natural boxer. But because I'm such a natural athlete, like I'm going to will my way into being a top elite fighter. Win, lose, or draw. That's kind of the same thing I appreciate with Deontay Wilder with his see it, think it, believe it mentality. Because he's literally defied, you know, beat the odds by what he's done. So none of this to, you know, all that Deontay Wilder hate that be going on the internet. We not for none of that. But I will say this. Though his trainer agreed to let him die on his shield, you know what I'm saying, go out on his shield, I believe that his trainer made the best decision. Because let's just think hypothetically. Let's say his trainer allows the fight goes on and Deontay Wilder dies. Someone he loves, someone he values, someone that he appreciates. If Deontay Wilder conscious was still going after he died, do you think he would have actually really appreciated that Mark Breland let him go out on the shield? I say 99% like confident that he wouldn't. Now let's just say Mark Breland is still here and Deontay Wilder's gone. What would that do to Mark Breland, knowing that he upheld that? See, ego, pride, you know, will, masculinity, it gives us this bravado and this desire to just be invincible. But nobody's invincible. Any and every person can be touched. Any and every person can be broken down just like that. The baddest man on the planet can be broken. So, at some point, you got to start using logic. Even in the middle of your bravado. You got to start using your brain in the middle of the bravado. So, I believe that Mark Breland did the right thing. Because if you watch that fight, and if you're a real boxing fan, not a casual, a real boxing fan, but even a casual can see this. You can see clearly that it was getting really, really bad in there. It was horrible. You know, he was falling everywhere. It just wasn't a good look. So to allow that to continue, to allow your fighter to take that much damage, because you have to remember, it's not just what happens physically. It's what happens after something like that physical happens. Y'all seen it. Y'all see great fighters in the history of boxing take one psychologically damaging fight and they was never the same fighter again. Ever. No matter how many skills, no matter how much improvement they made, no matter what happened, they was never the same fighter again. They could never pull the trigger again. Love you too. They could never pull the trigger. Never pull the trigger again. And you want to know why? It's because of psychological damage. So, when I look at this situation, if it's for other reasons, and maybe this was just a reason to just go ahead with it, then I rock with the decision. But in most cases, I don't think that they should have did that. And I think that one of the things that I wish fighters would do is not believe their own hype. Because there's always one or two men. All it takes is one or two men who just don't believe you. And they just don't care. They could be smaller, they could be bigger, they could be whatever. They just don't believe you. And you're going to have to show them. You know, and that's where believing your own hype don't matter anymore. You gotta step it up. And that's another thing I want to talk about with boxing is like, you never know who a fighter is until they're at the end of their career. It's a great eye test, but it's so much more psychologically that goes on with boxing. What's going to happen when a fighter fights a fighter that's bigger than them? What's going to happen when a fighter fights a fighter that's faster than them? What's going to happen when a fighter fights someone with more mental fortitude than them? What's going to happen when a fighter fights a fighter that's more experienced than him? What's going to happen when you fight a fighter who devastating punch is a devastating puncher? What's going to happen when you fight a fighter that got a little bit of all that? Who are you going to be? Because if you know boxing, you know that I can watch it. I'm not a promoter or I'm not a matchmaker. But I can watch two fighters, right? I can watch two fighters, and then I can watch two other fighters. And I can get this fighter to fight this fighter at the perfect time, and this fighter will be tailor-made for that particular fighter. All I got to do is just watch them fight and see their habits, see what they do, and I can pick up that. So a lot of boxers' careers go like that. And I don't think a lot of boxers should appreciate that, but a lot of boxers should never believe it. They should always know. The next fight is going to be some work. It's going to be some real work. And my only thing with Deontay, I'm not a hater of Deontay like a lot of these guys, is I wish that Deontay and his team would have not relied on the right hand so much. Don't get me wrong, he got a great jab. He has great mental fortitude sometimes. He knows how to set up his shots. But he don't know how to fight on the inside. He definitely don't know how to fight going backwards. And he don't generally know how to box. He has some boxing abilities. You know, some mental fortitude, some ring IQ stuff where he's kind of sharp and sets up things. But it's really only to set up the right hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really go past that. A nice clean jab to the body. Nice clean jab up top. But it's mainly just to set up the right hand. That's it. It's not defense. It's not to set up a perfect counter. You know, it's not to set up a left hook. It's not to set up really nothing but the right hand. So I wish that it didn't take getting to this stage to see that the foundation and the fundamentals need to be crisp. Because at this point, we don't know if it's too late. You know what I'm saying? We really don't. But that's all I got, man. I'll holler at y'all in a minute. It's your boy Sean Rock Tiller. I'm out. Peace.